Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm here to talk about E.L.F stock. I'm going to be giving an analysis on this stock and my thoughts to why this company is a great investment. If you guys do enjoy this video, be sure to smash that like button, also subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate the support. We're nearing 1,200 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. Let's get right into it. First off, we see E.L.F. Let's check out a few basic things about the stock. We see year to date it is down 0.46%, so pretty flat on the year. We see there was a big drop over in April, like with every other stock in the market. If we look at the bottom here, there's revenue of 1.34 billion, pretty sizable company, PE ratio of 73, pretty high. But this company, we're going to see they deserve to have that high PE ratio. This platform that I'm actually using is market-io. You guys can get a 7-day free trial in the description below. They actually give a lot of information that a lot of other places don't. Really like this site, very fond user. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. When I talk about these stocks that I make videos about, I have money in them. In E.L.F Beauty, I have almost $5,000 in E.L.F. My average cost is $73, so I did get a lot of E.L.F for when it was pretty cheap. I'm very happy. I mean, I took out a lot of money in other aspects and put it into E.L.F because I believed in this company so much, and it has paid off pretty well up to this point. Why invest into E.L.F? So growth rates are insane. Market share, this is the best makeup market. The makeup market is not, it's not like AI, but where E.L.F is positioned in the market is very impressive. It's very lucrative the way that they're moving their products so fast at these major retailers like Target, Walmart. They actually just got into Dollar General. There's a lot of things they're doing right, and also expansion. They're expanding nationally actually very well, very fast, and they're doing already good numbers overseas. So this is a little short presentation, but we are going to get into the bread and butter of this, which is the E.L.F investor presentation. That's what I really want to talk about this video, because this gives a lot of really good information that I could have just screenshotted and put in that slideshow, but I think every single slide plays an important role here. We see their net sales are up 9%. A lot of things are looking great for them in first quarter of 2026. I'm not sure how they got these stats already. I think they're on a different timing. 26 consecutive quarters of net sales growth. There's only one other stock that has done this, and that is Nvidia. At least in the Mag 7, there's only one other stock that's done this, which is the Mag 7. That's the best 7 stocks in the stock market. And then you put E.L.F is the only one that's matched Nvidia. It's pretty crazy right there. We also see it's one of one on cosmetic brands out of 988 to gain market share for 26 consecutive quarters. Very impressive right there. That's just speaks for itself. That speaks numbers. We see their net sales of 1.3 billion. We saw their revenue right there, back there. But we see in the future they're projecting 3 billion because of cosmetics, which is what they already do. Skincare, this is a major industry that they're getting into, which is much better than cosmetics in my opinion, and I think there's going to be a lot more room for growth. And then also international. So we covered the three things that, these are the main things for this company. That is how they are making money. Number one in unit share, number two in dollar share. We see E.L.F is the cheapest. That is where they thrive. They offer the cheapest product. They still have great margins, but they're moving three of these for every top mass brand that's moving one of these, and then they're moving probably 10 of these for every prestige brand that's moving one of these. So they're making a lot more money than these other brands because, yeah, yes, they have to move more product, but they are still making a lot more money because of their cheaper price. And then we see they're actually increasing their price by $1 on August 1st of 2026. So that's going to be a huge top line increase for the company. I mean, it doesn't feel like a lot to the consumer when you're paying one more dollar for something that was already very cheap. It's going to feel big on the company's top line. I mean, the amount of product that they move, they are the number one moving product inside of Target all across the US. E.L.F. That is the number one moving product. And you add $1 to every single product that's moved that fast. This is a great lucrative move by E.L.F. I really love to see that in their earnings presentation. Target, number one, like I said, 21%. We see their BPS in Target is up. Walmart, drugstores, grocery stores, Dollar General, it's up a lot because this is their first quarter being in Dollar General. They're in 80% of Dollar Generals. Over 20,000 people have actually purchased their product. This is 60% dollar growth from shoppers new to Dollar General. And then 53% of shoppers at Dollar General are new to E.L.F. So E.L.F is getting a lot of new customers, a lot of new repeat customers. People that shop at Dollar General typically also shop at stores like Target or Walmart. People are consumers. People shop at multiple stores. If they see E.L.F at these other stores, they're also going to buy it there. And then, while we're on an intermission between these slides right here, E.L.F is a great play for your portfolio. Let's take a look at my portfolio right here. E.L.F is a great play for your portfolio to add some diversity. So I have Amazon, I have Google, I have a lot of tech stocks, and then I have a restaurant industry stock. I have cake, I have a lot of cake, and then SoFi, I have a banking stock, and then tech as well. But then I have Celsius as well, a consumer stock, Nike, a consumer stock. But then I have more tech stocks like Shopify. E.L.F is a great play because they're in a very good space to the point where if there is an AI bubble, I'm sure E.L.F will feel a little bit of repercussion. Maybe the stock will drop a little bit just because the whole market is down 10%. But E.L.F is a great play to diversify your portfolio, take some money from other places and kind of just put it in a whole different industry because E.L.F is getting hit by the tariffs. I think their stock would be up a lot more if it weren't for these tariffs, but we can't do anything about that. And the tariffs aren't going to last forever. We're going to get, the political stance of the U.S. is not going to be the same person. There's 4-year terms. So E.L.F is definitely a long-term play, but I do think that E.L.F is very attractive, even at this price, because if we go to the all-time on E.L.F, we see that this was a very expensive stock at one point. We go to 5 years, this stock was trading for upwards of $200, and you can get it right now for $127. And then a lot of times when these stocks are trading for these prices, I like to ask myself, would I buy e.l.f. Beauty when it was $210? Yes, I would. I think that this is worth this. I also think, is $210 the most e.l.f. is ever going to be worth? No, I don't think e.l.f. hit its all-time high in 2024. I just don't think that's what happened. I think there is a little bit of stigma, bad stigma with the tariffs and all of that such, but I do think that that's going to go away eventually. Also, the PE ratio is fairly high, but if you check Market Dash, actually, this is around their average PE ratio because their growth rates are so good. This company is moving very fast. Let's look at a little bit more of their stats. So their cosmetics dollar share, we see right here, a lot of face products, eyes, nose, lips, and then eyes purely. I'm not really worried about e.l.f. entertaining. Skincare penetration, 8% in 2020, 18% in 2025. E.L.F. skincare, this is very important because a lot of people use skincare. Almost everyone uses skincare. If you're watching this video, I'd be surprised if you didn't use skincare. It's a very popular market. And E.L.F. is penetrating into it. Right now, their customer base is 50% of America. All women, all female. Some men use makeup for sure, and I'm sure they use e.l.f., but most men don't, just statistically. And skincare even as well. More women than men use skincare, but it is becoming increasingly popular in both demographics because everyone has skin and everyone wants their skin to look good. It's just a thing that happens in the world. It's just a part of your body. But men are using skincare, so this is something that they can attract to 100% of crowds, which is very good. If you can attract your product to everyone, that's a lot better than 50%. Because, like Alani Nu, for example, they're mainly targeted towards the female, gym goers, consumer base. And like this, it is mainly targeted towards the female consumer base. But when they break into the skincare sector, we're going to see a lot of men start buying e.l.f. skincare, and then maybe they'll buy e.l.f. for their, significant other or things of that nature. There's a lot of things that can happen, and they're broadening out, attracting every single person in the world, not just 50%, which I very much like to see. I think that is what e.l.f. is missing, is that they only have 50% of the market because of, mostly females. Not even every female uses makeup. International, their sales growth is up 30%. Love to see that. Their category growth, they're 3x insane. And then we see a lot of people want e.l.f. worldwide. A lot of people are ordering e.l.f. worldwide over in this store. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. They're in over 1,200 of them. They're the number one beauty retailer in this company in 2 European countries. They're number one and number two. I love to see that. And then in fall of 2025, they expanded to 4 new European countries. I love to see that. Their international penetration since 2026 has doubled. Okay? And then we see, look at their fiscal year. They did 28 million. This year they did 266 million. Yes, they 10x'd their international penetration. If this happens again, if this happens, in 2032 and they 10x this and we have 2.6 billion, I think sky's the limit. That's 2x of what their revenue is right now, and that's just international. Because international is the future, like I say when I go over a lot of these stocks. They're all trying to expand international. It's going to be a matter of, who does it right, who does it early. International is the future. International is what we need to invest in because a lot of these other countries, other than the US, they don't have the best economies, not as good as the US, but they do have a very fast growing population and very similar, they are growing their economies very fast. If we keep going here, not really worried about this advertising that they do. They do great advertising. They actually have an app. They have software. E.L.F is not just a pure makeup company. They have more than that. But I do like their advertising. Just not very worried about it. And here we see 9% quarter one fiscal year 2025 net sales growth, and then they're up 50% on their in comparison to quarter one fiscal year 2025. I love to see that. US growth 5%, international growth 30%. This is because the US, yes, they're attracting new customers, but internationally they're attracting only new customers. I mean, that's just a spot that they haven't expanded into yet. Their gross margin is 69%. That's insane with any company. That's how you know you have a competitive advantage. E.L.F has the competitive advantage with their pricing, with their logo, with their branding. They have that competitive advantage. That's why they can sell their product with a 69% growth margin. That's why their PE ratio is so high. This company has a clear, advantage over the rest of the market. Marketing and digital investment, we see that this is pretty high. I mean, E.L.F, if they don't have to go through this third-party retailer, like, for example, Target, for example, Walmart, Dollar General, if they don't have to do that, then it's better for them. Their margins are higher. But right now, that's how they're attracting a lot of their customers. A lot of people are going to those stores and buying their product there. But they are trying to build their own store. I mean, they have their own store. They're just trying to build their customer base on that and their app. Two very important aspects for them. Adjusted net income, I mean, it's a little bit down, but I'm not worried about that. I think the tariffs are playing a role in this company and not stopping, but slowing down its growth. They have $170 million of cash on hand, 20 million in free cash flow, some big numbers there, especially with how, the revenue that this company makes. That's a big portion of it they have in cash. I feel very confident in this company long term having that much cash. 75% of their production is in China. I'm glad they went over tariffs in this. So tariffs 170% between April 9th and May 13th. And then we see May 14th to present, 30% tariffs in 2025, 25% in 2019. So tariffs are up a lot since then, and they're losing a lot of money. We see $50 million annualized cost of goods impact. Do not love to see that. Do not love to see that at all, but I don't think that's a long-term thing. And these big companies that know what they're doing, they've been doing it for a while, then they're going to get, they're going to move their production to somewhere with less tariffs where they can, I mean, they're making their product very cheap in China, which allows them to have this competitive advantage over every other makeup producer. But I think they can move it to maybe like Nike's doing. They're moving a lot of production to Vietnam because the tariffs are lower and prices are similar. And you got to, weigh out the balances. I'm sure they'll figure it out. I'm not worried at all that they're not going to figure it out. I have no doubt that E.L.F.'s management team is going to get through this and get their margins even higher than they were, this year. I think that is going to happen, and I'm really just not worried at all. I think that is priced into the stock price. I think that is why it isn't at this level, is because the introduction of the tariffs. It was trading for $200, and then it dropped all the way here to 100, and then we saw it rise back up to right around where it is right now, 130, 140, dropped all the way to 52. E.L.F dropped all the way to $52, which sounds crazy to say right now. You'd be up over 100%, almost 200. So E.L.F is definitely feeling the tariffs, but I'm not worried about it in the long term. And then a lot of, everything else in the slideshow, not too important, but that is what I have for this video. I think that E.L.F Beauty, even though, you look at this and you say, oh my gosh, E.L.F is so expensive. It's up 12% in the past year. I could have gotten it for $52 and I didn't. Yes, you could have gotten it for $52 and you didn't. Maybe you did. I hope you did. But even if you didn't, I think you're still buying the same company. It's just $127 now. That's a thought that you need to get past. You're still investing in the same company, or just, your risk adjusted basis is a little bit higher. If the company does drop to 52 again, you can dollar cost average down. Do I think the company's gonna drop to 52 again? No, I don't think so. It might, nobody knows. But I think that it's probably going to rise to, over 200 before it drops to 50 again. So that's a pretty healthy gain right there. So that's all I have for today's video, guys. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to smash that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate the support. I'll catch you guys in the next video. We're making daily content, a new video every day. Either going to call out a stock, talk about one that I enjoy, talk about a strategy maybe I've been using, or, something to do with the stock market. So if you guys do have any ideas for new videos that you want to see, be sure to comment down below. Appreciate you guys for watching. Catch you in the next one. Peace.